Have you ever looked at a building or sidewalk and wondered, is that cement or concrete? Spoiler alert, they're not the same thing, and mixing them up might just shock your inner engineer. Today, we're diving deep into the science, history, and facts behind these two materials that literally hold our world together. Let's start with cement, specifically Portland cement, which is the most common type used today. Cement is a binding material. It's made by heating a mixture of limestone and clay at temperatures up to 1450 degrees C in a process called calcination. This creates what's known as clinker, which is then ground down into the fine powder we call cement. When you add water to cement, a chemical reaction called hydration occurs. This process forms crystals that harden and bind everything together. Pretty cool, right? But cement on its own, not so useful. Enter concrete, the world's most widely used construction material. Concrete is essentially a composite material made from cement, the binder. Sand fills in the gaps. Gravel stone gives strength. Water activates the cement. When all these ingredients are mixed, the cement paste coats the aggregates, and the hydration reaction begins. Over time, it hardens into the strong material we see in everything from sidewalks to skyscrapers. Concrete is so widely used that about 30 billion tons of it are produced every year. That's enough to build roughly 20,000 Hoover dams annually. Here, where the science gets even cooler, concrete doesn't dry, it cures. The curing process can take days to weeks, depending on environmental conditions and the mix design. During this time, the hydration reaction continues, and the concrete strength increases. Cement contains compounds like tricalcium silicate, C3S, and decalcium silicate, C2S. When water is added, these react to form calcium silicate hydrate, CSH, the stuff that gives concrete its strength, and calcium hydroxide. Graphs showing strength increase over time, 7 days versus 28 days current. That's why engineers often test concrete strength at 28 days. That's when it reaches most of its design strength. Now that we know the science, let's clear up when to use each term. Cement is used in smaller scale applications like mortar for bricklaying, plastering walls, grout for tiles. Concrete, on the other hand, is used for foundations and slabs, roads and bridges, high-rise buildings and dams. While concrete is strong, its environmental footprint is huge due to cement production. That's why scientists are developing eco-friendly alternatives like using industrial byproducts like fly ash or slag to replace part of the cement, incorporating carbon capture technology to reduce emissions, developing new materials like geopolymer concrete. All right, let's recap. Cement is the binding powder made from heating limestone and clay. Concrete is the composite material made from cement, water, and aggregates that gives us the sturdy structures we rely on every day. Cement is just one ingredient of concrete, kind of like flour in a cake. Without cement, concrete wouldn't exist. If you learned something new today, hit that like button, subscribe for more science and construction content, and drop any questions you've got in the comments. Until next time, stay curious.